Hello, hockey fans. Me, David. Thought I would start this video on the afternoon of Tuesday, 15th of November, 2022, 2:08 North American Eastern Time, 11:08 the same morning North American Pacific Time. Thought I would in this video respond to the videos Vibe Coover posted on the SDPN Sports YouTube channel. Originally just Steve Dangle podcast. And what was it? Yes, that was about the Canucks. At least the segment I listened to was about the Canucks being a disaster, and in response to the video posted on the Gluttons for Punishment YouTube website of the disaster of the Ottawa Senators. So, what I'm gonna just go through the. Alright, so we're just gonna do. Let's give you a moment here. First, I thought I would send to the Ottawa Senators. It's not looking too good. Just trying to get things going. It's a little bit slow. Alright, give me a moment here. Alright, it's gonna. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna try. No, source. That's a computer issue, so maybe I have to get that fixed because it is. Alright, let me just. Alright, so most recent result was on excuse me, was it? It's on Monday evening, 14th of November Eastern Time. It was a game Senators had hosted. It was broadcast on TSN, one of the TSN channels that likely was was blacked out for anyone not with a TV subscription based in the Senators viewing region, but still resident in Canada. Uh, two NHL seasons ago, well, I believe sometime in May or so, I got a subscription to NHL Center Ice and was able to watch more of those games featuring Canadian teams that otherwise would have been blacked out. I'm gonna try to post a link as soon as I can to a video. Featured a claim made by the England-based Odd Man Rush YouTube man about how supposedly TV blackouts suck. Well, there's no else to do. They did before I got that because I wanted to watch. It was because 2 seasons ago, all 7 Canadian NHL teams were placed into a division of their own, so-called North Division. It was in response to denial of permission to the NHL by the Canadian federal government to allow NHL players playing on American teams to travel into Canada if they were not citizens or residents of the country. And that meant the NHL basically put all Canadian teams into one division and all the American teams into one of 3 divisions that contained only teams from the contiguous United States. So that was pretty much all it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Senators season, and I'm just going to put here, and just going to put him. As you can see there, it's not the easiest to read at the moment, but basically, Senators have 3 points out of a possible 6 on the road. 3 out of a possible 12. 3 points over in 6 road games, and in terms of home games, Sens have 8 points in 9. So, not even averaging a point per game or more. So So we go there just to briefly mention, I don't think Senators have played in a shootout just yet, but when it comes to Senators, they are at the bottom. They got so these are regular season results. They are, these Sens are not doing too good. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is pretty much a disaster here. So, Sens have, October was a mix. Amazing success at Canadian Tire Center, but in other arenas, gone 0 for the month. So if it was continuous United States, it was against the Sabres to start off, so that was a loss. And against the Panthers, so 0 for 2. 2 losses in a row to teams based in the contiguous United States. And November hasn't gone a lot better. So Tampa Bay Lightning, a loss in regulation, albeit by just 1 goal. And 0, 3, 1, and 0. So Senators this season have a record of, let me see here, 1, 2, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 1, and 0, 1, 3, 1, and 0. So that's right. Senators have, with respect to wins in regulation, overtime, and shootout losses, a record in the contiguous United States of 1, 3, 1, and 0. That basically means 3 points over 5 games. So that's an average of 0.6 points per game. So Senators have 30% of the available points, up for grabs so far against teams based in the United States. And things don't get a lot better the rest of the month because, the Sens face a whole bunch of American teams the rest of the way for the rest of the month to game 22. So one game to be played in the contiguous United States. We have, next week. So Monday is going to be in San Jose against the local Shark squad. Next week Wednesday against the Golden Knights squad. Then Friday against the Ducks and against the Kings on 2 weekends from now. And then the end of the month against the Rangers. So basically, the Sens don't manage to win a game. Well, that's going to be that could be it for their season. It's pretty bad as things are. And now, excuse me. So Sens did face the Canucks. So the two teams will face each other at Rogers Arena later on in the season. So, alright, so we're just going to go to the Senators. Just to recap, the Sens have overall 6 points over 15 games. So 11. So 11 points over 15 games. So just going to see what average points per game happens to be. Just going to get out the calculator. Give me a moment here. Over 15. So Sens have averaged 0.733 points per game. Not very good. Now I'm going to go to the Canucks, and unbelievably, the Canucks are pretty close to the Habs last season. After 25 regular season games, had earned 14 points. The Canucks are just 3 points away from tying that poor performance by the Habs. On the other hand, it's been a lot of red ink. Preseason wasn't great, but I'm looking at the regular season because preseason games in terms of playoff position do not count. It was just a warm-up, but again, didn't exactly go well, and yeah. Maybe shocking is how badly the Canucks have. Were they supposed to be charging out of the gate? They haven't been. Yeah, sure, there have been issues with David Thatcher Demko hasn't been the elite goalie that he often is, but again, the Canucks over relied on Demko last season, and look where it got them. It didn't get them into a playoff position, that's for sure. So the rest of the month, Canucks will be playing games against teams based in the contiguous United States, so teams outside of what was the North Division. So let's see. So last month, Canucks, well, they got 2 wins at the end, but still, here. So 1, 2, 0, 2 and 2, 1, 2, 2 and 0 record against teams based in the contiguous United States. This month, you just see here, 1, 2, 2. So 1, 3, 2 and 0 against teams based in the contiguous United States. So 1, 3, 2. So that's 6 games, 4 points over 6 games among teams, from teams based in the contiguous United States. So that is, all right. So that's 4 points over 6 games. So it's an average of 0.667 points per game, rounded to the nearest thousandth of a point per game. Not good. So again, the rest of the month, I figure that if by the end of the month the Canucks haven't turned things around in a significant way, it's not likely going to, the season effectively will be over. I mean, look at the standings. It's Canucks going into tonight's game were 5 points back of the nearest available playoff spot. Yeah. Seattle Kraken are on a roll, 19 points over 16 games. So, yeah, Kraken have turned things around in a big way. Yeah, the Oilers and Flames are in wildcard spots, but again, it's hard to know what's going to happen to the Alberta teams. For me, I'm a fan of Leafs all year round. But when it comes to the postseason, I really want a Canadian team other than the Habs to win a Stanley Cup, because as much as I respect the success of the Habs, particularly in the expansion era, low Stanley Cups, mainly in the 1970s, I really want a team other than the Habs, if it's Canadian based, to win a Stanley Cup. It would be so nice to do, but it's not clear what the picture is. So, alright, just gonna close that there. Because when it comes to the standings, you look at these, it's not clear what Canadian teams are in the standings. So, oops, didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to try to go down here. So when it comes to playoff positioning, going into games to take place starting in a few hours' time, we have the Leafs in second in the Atlantic, and thus in an automatic playoff spot. But with the Lightning, Panthers, Red Wings, and Habs not very far behind. Leafs have played 16 games, but again, the Sabres are quite a bit of a ways back. The Senators are even further back. So really for now, the Leafs really don't need to worry about the Lightning, Panthers, Wings, and Habs. So a huge vulnerability. So if Leafs lose, particularly within regulation, they could be dropping back down. Could be dropping back into fifth, perhaps lower in the. Maybe dropping into fourth in the Eastern Conference, Eastern Conference wildcard race, and that ain't going to be good. So the Central Division, Jets are on a roll, but again, they are vulnerable. I mean, yeah, Minnesota Wild 3 points back. So yeah, so that's threat there. So, but the Jets looks to be in pretty good shape. The Oilers and the Oilers and the Flames. The Oilers look like they could. Leapfrog over the Kraken. Flames are a little bit further back, but still in a wildcard spot. Vulnerable though to dropping down because of a not so good last 10. and of the Canucks all the way down. So basically, well, 5 points back, but it could be more. So really, at this point, the Jets are really the only secure team, or call that, among those from Canada to do so. And yeah, hopefully the Winnipeg Jets will not be the only Canadian team to qualify for a Stanley Cup for the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs. But it doesn't matter because it's very exciting, interesting, battles for playoff positioning. But again, when it comes to the Senators and Canucks, it could be game over by the end of the month. The Habs look like they are still in the mix, but again, it doesn't look like things are looking as good for the Sens or Canucks. Both disasters, and both can see their head coaches could be out before the season's over. But again, even if they aren't, if I were Bruce Boudreau, would I want to continue to coach this team? These are loads of players that are not performing. The cap situation is not very good for the Canucks, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, goodbye and go Leafs go.